Boys and girls, welcome to BenchART. I'm for Classic and welcome to Yakuza 6, the Song of Life. So this game it is developed by Ryoga Gatuka Studio and it was ported over to the PC thanks to the keylog, and it is using the Dragon engine. So the big question is how this game runs on the Nvidia MX130 or the Nvidia GT940 MX with GDDR5. So to answer, this is my recommended settings. So my recommended settings it is for you to play at 720p using the textures on high and texture filtering at 4 times, using FXAA and depth of field, and put all the rest of the stuff at the lowest possible. This is the best way that I did found for me that it was more playable. So the minimum requirements for this game, they do require an i5 from the 3000 generation, 4 gigs of RAM, and the GTX 660 with 2 gigabytes, which is more powerful than the MX130, for example. So, and these were the results that I did gathered without recording. So at low settings, for example, my average was 38 frames per second with 1% low of 30. So overall the game was above 30 frames per second, but it was completely horrible because texture quality makes a huge difference in graphics quality in this game, and that's why I do recommend you to go with texture quality on high instead of medium or low. And as you can see, using these custom low settings, the settings that I did show you on the graphical settings of the game, the performance it is virtually the same. So I just kind of lost like 1 frame per second, but yet I had a very big increase in visual quality. If you decide to use median settings instead, well, unfortunately median settings, it drops the frame rate a lot more than I was expecting, and the game spends most of its time below 30 frames per second, which I don't recommend. That's why I decided to recommend you to go with 720p, low settings, but put the texture quality on high, raise a little bit the Anisotropic Filtering, which is the texture filtering in this game, use anti-aliasing at your own choice, so choose if you want to use FXAA or SMAA. Both of the anti-aliasing solutions are very similar. The difference is FXAA, it is a little bit more blurrier, alright, and it ruins a little bit the colors of the game, but it seems like it makes sense to use with lower resolution, and SMAA keeps the things more sharper, but it seems that it seems that it creates more shimmering than FXAA. At higher resolutions I would prefer SMAA, but unfortunately I think that I need to go with with FXAA with this specific resolution. Also, I decided to enable depth of field because depth of field makes a huge difference in cinematics. It makes things, well, more cinematic, alright? And since cutscenes are not that important and they are usually not playable, I think they are fine with depth of field on instead of it off. But that's my preference about it. So that's the performance that you can, this is the performance that you can expect for Yakuza 6, the Song of Life. Keep in mind one thing is that in this video the frame time it is completely broken. This is an issue that I have with Nvidia cards in this game for now. Hopefully it will be fixed with a newer driver or probably a fix from keylog. What really happens is when an overlay kicks in inside the game, it might be an email from Outlook, it might be the Steam notification when you get inside the game, or it might be shadow play or anything from GameBar. The frame time of the game starts to degrade degrades itself, alright? It starts to just become broken, and the GPU usage, it starts to drop. So as you can see in this recording, GPU usage, it is getting lower than 90%, so performance it is way much worse than without recording. This is something that, well, no surprise, right? But yeah, in this specific game it is much worse than in any other game that I have seen before. That is clearly an issue. So to fix this, just disable Steam overlay or disable any overlay that you might have running aside from MSI Afterburner if you do use MSI Afterburner. and you won't be having issues with frame times. Yes, there will be a stutter or two while traversing the map, but overall, what you should know is that I had this bug on my GTX 1650 Super and also on my MX130. So that's something that it is really happening to me. While testing on my Intel integrated graphic card, I didn't have, strangely, this issue. But, well, with Nvidia graphic cards, this is happening to me every time something from any overlay kicks in inside the game. The frame times just goes to shit, and GPU usage starts to drop randomly, causing worse performance. Essentially, that's that. As for the game itself, well, I didn't play that much, honestly, but it seems like all the other Yakuza games. It seems that they did improve over the predecessors, and that's about it. And if you want to check any other review, just go to better reviews out there and better websites than me, because I'm pretty sure they will have a much better opinion about this game than me that barely played 1 hour of the game. Alright, so that's about it. But what you should know is that the game, it is very cheap at the moment. It costs $19.99, so yes, it's another Yakuza game on PC that is completely cheap, and that's a good thing. But if you want to play through Xbox Game Pass, you can subscribe to Xbox Game Pass. If you've never done it before, it just costs €1 the first month, and the next month it will be €10 per month. You will get access to all the Yakuza games except the Like a Dragon, which is the latest one. It is still not available for us PC gamers on the Xbox Game Pass, but you will get access to all Yakuza games and a ton of other games that are included in Xbox Game Pass, and also EA Play or Origin Play or whatever the name that it is called. Alright, so that's all that I want to talk about Yakuza 6. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
ここまで乗り込んできたあなた方の勇気は認めます。でも、登場界のヤクザがアジア外で偉そうな態度は良くない。
エドさん、信用できねえのはわかるが、今日は戦争しに来たわけじゃねえ。あんたがそっちのボスに直接口を聞ける幹部だと見込んでよ。俺らも命がけで話し合いに来た。
話し合いならその懐の銃は必要ないのでは。
ここはあんたら中国マフィアの本拠地だからな。あくまでご信用だ。
お互いにフェアで行こうや。あなた方登場界の言い分は聞かなくても分かっています。我々マフィアにアジア界で閉じこもっているとでも言うのでしょう。
ああ。その代わり、今度こそアジア外はあんたらの島だと認める。ボスにはこう伝えてくれ。今後アジア外以外の場所で中国人マフィアが姿を見せたら、うちは容赦なくやらせてもらうとな。
それじゃあ今までは手加減をしてくれていたのですか。
ああ、そういうことだ。
うちのボスの返事はもう私に託されています。ただ私は日本語下手なのでうまく伝わるか心配でね。
まさかうちの若いもんよりよっぽどうまい日本語だ。
そうですか。でもやはり あなたの口からそちらのボスへこれから起きることをそのままお伝えください。
あおい、何する気だ。
撃つ気ならさっさと撃たないとね。これが採用界ボスからの答えです。
中国人が二人もやりやがって殺してやれ。
あいつらが中国マフィアってわけか。
お前何見てる？
いや別に。
気に食わない顔だ。
ずいぶん手が早いな。俺が何したってんだ。
離せ！